Hey you guys! I think it's live now anyways. Welcome back to another video. Sort out my hair a little bit here. We're going to be talking about today is the ways that many of us sabotage our manifestations without realizing it, and we settle for less without even realizing it as well. So we're showing the universe our standards, we're showing the universe what we deserve, all of these things, and we think we're manifesting super high and like super high standards and everything, but really we don't actually realize it, but we're showing the universe a lot less than what we deserve, what we're aiming for. So I've got some things jotted down for you here. But when you settle for less, you show the universe your baseline standards in every way possible. Not even just what you deserve, but what you deserve and what your standards are on an energetic level. So you show the universe what you're ready for, as in what you can hold energetically. You show the universe, okay, am I ready for this small desire or am I ready for the full thing? Because if you settle for less and you settle for the universe's tests, you're showing the universe that you're actually only ready for a piece of the pie rather than the whole pie in total. And this is going to be why it's so important to do your manifestation shadow work, to make sure you're manifesting the right goal, to make sure that you're manifesting from a place of abundance, not from a place of lack, and also to make sure that you're manifesting your goal and you're not going to end up settling for less. This is how to spot when the universe is testing you as well, so that you don't settle for that less manifestation that the universe is testing you on. So we want to show the universe what we deserve. We want to show the universe what we have room for. We want to show the universe what energy we're vibrating on, and we're not going to settle for anything less than that very thing we have decided that we're going to have. We're not going to waver when something slightly less comes into the picture, because what this looks like a lot of the time is the thing that appears right before the main manifestation comes. So what this will often look like is you're trying to manifest, say you're trying to manifest a car, and you want like the screen, you want the car to be white, you want it to have like, I don't know, brown, red leather seats, and then you're looking for this specific car, you're thinking about it every day, you're trying to make room for that car energetically, you're doing the inner work, and then you come across a car and it's like got white leather seats and the screen isn't as high spec as what you thought you were gonna get, and you're like, shall I just settle for this desire, or shall I stick around for like a few weeks longer or even months longer and try and get the full thing, or shall I just get it now because I'm feeling a little bit impatient and I don't know if the full thing's gonna actually arrive? That's what it looks like. So if you've ever done that, let me know in the comments, because I know I have. That's the universe's test to see what you're ready for, what you can hold energetically, what you think you deserve, all of these things. This is the test from the universe, and we are not falling for it. So these are 5 ways that you're going to know if you're settling for less and therefore rejecting the desire that's actually on the way, if you rejected this fake desire, almost like this fake manifestation. It's like a faux version. It'll always be slightly less than what you're manifesting, and it's not showing you that you only deserve this at all. It's a test, and usually you'll find that as soon as you reject that faux desire, that slightly less desire, then the actual desire comes. It manifests because you've just placed yourself on such a higher level. You've stepped onto that higher pedestal. It's incredible what happens when you say no, because you're then solid in your energy, you're solid in your knowing, and that's what then calls in the real desire straight afterwards. Like, a lot of people will find that it happens instantly. So how do we actually do this then? What's the 5 ways that you might be settling for less without realizing it? So number 1 is if you go for what you think is realistic in this current mind, this current state. What's realistic for you is going to be realistic for someone else. So what you think is realistic, don't go for what is realistic. And I'm going to give you a little trick here. I don't mean to go for something that's completely out of reach and something that you don't think you can hold right now. What I'm saying is I don't mean avoiding the ladder technique. So what I am actually saying is to use the ladder technique. If you've never heard of the ladder technique, what you might do is, say you manifesting that car and it's a really posh modern car, you want it to be like brand new or something. That's at the top of the ladder and you're at the bottom of the ladder. Say you've got like quite a crappy car right now. You purposely manifest. I don't think this is going to work for a car, actually. Okay, let's just do it in terms of money. Money is easy to do as an example. So say you're manifesting 50 grand a month and you're currently at like 3 grand a month, right? You want to manifest on the ladder technique step by step. So you want to aim for the 5K, then the 10K, then the 20, then the 50. But you know in the back of your mind that the true real goal is the 50 grand a month. What it would look like if you're playing it too realistic is if your vision board says 10K a month, you're manifesting 10K a month, you're trying to do the inner work to 10K a month. No, if your goal is the 50K months, don't put the 10K months on the vision board. The 50K months goes on the vision board and you actively ladder your way up by manifesting in increments. This will build up your self-concept because most people will make the mistake of going straight for the top or really low down. So they either go too realistic or too high. And that's when they either get stuck at the realistic manifestation, right? Or they don't get anywhere and they get stuck because they're trying to manifest something that they can't hold right now. They're not doing the inner work to make sure that they can hold it. And they just don't think that they deserve it. So their nervous system, their self-concept is just saying, like, we can't do this. We can't hold it. We don't think we deserve it. So you stay at this point. You don't even get the 50K. So what you have to do is use the ladder technique, basically. You're manifesting the 50K months. You're not settling for the 10K months. You know that this is the long-term goal, but you're like doing the little baby steps to build up your self-concept. So you're like, yes, I've now manifested the 10K months. Now I believe that I can hold and manifest 25K months. Now I'm ready for 20K months because I've done the 10K and it becomes a lot easier than just shooting for the stars. And again, worse than shooting for the stars is just going for something that's realistic. So that's the first way that you may be settling for less. Don't go for what's realistic. And this is gonna put me on to the next point here. Number 2 is you change your desire based on what someone said. This could be anyone, and it could be someone that means well for you. So, for example, even your parents or your friends that truly care for you, they don't want you to get hurt. They don't want you to get let down. They don't want you to get depressed. So, yes, sometimes people do speak from a place of looking out for you, but also a lot of people will speak from a place of lack. They're projecting onto you what they think they deserve or what they think is possible for them. And for example, if they come across someone with the desire that you want, they would cringe, they would contract because they cringe at the thought of having that desire. They would just feel so uncomfortable for them. Even if it was like £1 million, they're like, consciously, yes, I would like this £1 million, but unconsciously they're contracting and they're cringing at that desire because they just know that they couldn't hold that. They wouldn't know what to do with it. So these are the kind of people that will tell you something like, oh, don't do that. Like, rich people get broke after 2 years. It's like winning the lottery. You'll go broke after a while. This is what people will say. And yes, it's very convincing. The statistics are very real. A lot of people don't earn 50K months. A lot of lottery winners do go broke, but you're not the statistics. You're doing the inner work. These other people haven't done the manifestation inner work. So yes, of course, they can't hold this full desire, but we have to be careful that people might mean well, but people also don't mean well. And even if they mean well, they're not doing anything good by telling you their limiting beliefs. We might not think that we care, but like sometimes it goes in our brain and we like think about it over and over and over. In reality, though, we don't care. Like from the front, we're stepping into the version of us that doesn't care. Like we don't care what people think. We don't care because, again, they're manifesting. No, sorry, not manifesting. They're projecting the things that are based on, again, what they think is possible, what their self-concept holds, and what they believe to be true, which is different for every single person on this earth. Everyone's had a different life experience. Therefore, everyone has different beliefs, different expectations. So basically, we don't want anyone else's life. So why would we listen to anyone else? Unless they're where I want to be, why would I listen to them? Even if it's your mum and dad and they like, oh, I've been through life. I've had all this life experiences. I was you when I was your age. I was dreaming and shooting for the stars. No, unless they are where you want to be, you don't listen to them. And you know what? Actually, I just bought a book and it just arrived today. It's downstairs. I wish I had it on me right now. It's called something about being disliked. I want to say The Art of Being Disliked, but I know that's a different book. The Courage to Be Disliked. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. The Courage to Be Disliked. I'm reading that now because I need to work on giving less of a crap. Like, yeah, that book is supposed to be really, really, really good. But that is probably one of the best ways to not listen to what someone said, to not change your desire based on what someone said, is to literally not give a crap and not care what people think, but also to realize that they are speaking from their desires, from their self-concept, and we don't want their self-concept and we don't want their life, so we're not going to listen to them. So number 3 way of knowing that you're settling for less and therefore rejecting your truest desires is if you manifest from survival mode. So now we need to think, what is survival mode? If you've never came across survival mode, it's essentially when you're neurologically dysregulated. A lot of people will experience some kind of trauma in their life, like literally anything. I believe that 90% of people nowadays are dysregulated. They're the people that they can't relax, they can't turn off, they get overwhelmed easily, they snap in arguments, they're reactive, essentially. Their nervous system has so much going on, it's so dysregulated that a single thing can set them off. This used to be me again. Last year, I was super, okay, so this is what happened with me. I was a super calm person and I let everyone walk all over me. And then when they would annoy me that much, I couldn't say anything until I was that annoyed. That I couldn't say anything. I was just like going with the flow. Whatever someone said, I didn't care what someone said. I'd never correct them. And I was just so like calm and like unbothered. But if someone was genuinely saying something horrible to me, I wouldn't know how to react. I wouldn't know what to say. So I'd just allow them to say it. And the only time I'd actually say something is by letting myself get to a point of extreme anger. And that would usually result in like me bursting out into tears or me literally snapping at someone. So, for example, with Aaron, I would be like, fine. And then suddenly one day I'd just get in an argument and I'd just snap. And then like that anger would come out. So that's what happens when we build up emotions, essentially. You guys know about when we build up the emotions. So now part of the inner work for manifestations is doing the emotional freedom activities to actively release those emotions so that we can calm down our nervous system. And our nervous system isn't holding as much information and our body isn't holding as much energy anymore because we've released them naturally, not being triggered in the moment, but we release them later on in a healthy way. That's what we need to be doing, getting ourselves out of survival mode, out of the triggered mentality, out of the not being able to relax, not being able to sit down. Again, me, I used to think I literally had ADHD. In fact, I'm pretty sure in one of my past videos I've said that I had ADHD. And I never actually went through the full diagnosis because they were like, yeah, it sounds like ADHD, but there's nothing we can do. You won't get medication. So, you know, it's up to you. And I didn't go through the full diagnosis. They would have diagnosed me with ADHD. And that's what I'm realizing now, is that it wasn't ADHD at all. It was actually just my dysregulated nervous system. That was the reason why I was always fidgeting. I could never sit still. My brain was running at 1,000,000 miles an hour. All of these things that looks like ADHD, right? I could never concentrate in school. I got told off for even playing with my hair in school. My hair was super dead on this one side because I'd always play with it like this. There's so many pictures of me, videos of me even doing this from when I was like really young. And my hair was like up to here and it was so dead and it was so uneven, whereas now I'm growing it long. So hopefully like in the next few videos, maybe it'll be longer. But that's what used to happen to me. And I'm surprised people didn't actually think that I had ADHD sooner. But this was actually all due to the fact that, let's sort this fringe out. All due to the fact that I was in survival mode and my body was trying to distract me from the things that were going on the inside. This appears as anxiety, depression, any sort of like mental health disorder. A lot of the time is our brains trying to distract us from what's going on inside. So it's creating these external things that we have to deal with as like a surface level layer of protection. And the second I decided this ADHD like symptoms are disappearing, I'm slowing down, I'm letting my nervous system heal every day when I get in from work or wherever I've been, wherever I get home from anywhere, I'm relaxing. I'm not doing anything. I'm meditating. I'm journaling. I'm letting myself recover. I am not jumping home and switching on a movie and allowing my brain to absorb more information, conflict, negative thoughts, negative anything, right? I'm not switching on nothing. I'm relaxing. I'm allowing my nervous system to rejuvenate and balance, and I'm letting my energy balance out. I've got like a grounding mat now. So it's like when I sit down, I do my skincare, I have my feet on the grounding mat so that any excess energy can come out of my body at the end of the day. And all of these, there's many ways that you can get out of survival mode, but a way to know that you're manifesting out of survival mode is when you manifest from a place of lack instead of love. So when you manifest out of a place of lack, it will look like, I don't have enough and therefore I need to manifest this. So maybe I don't have enough health, there's something wrong with me, and therefore I need to manifest better health. I don't have enough money and therefore I need to manifest more money in order to get by. This could be even if you've got £1,000,000 in your bank already and you don't think that's enough. So you want 2 million or 5 million. That's the exact same thing. You don't think you have enough. Therefore, you're manifesting from a place of lack and not from a place of love. You manifest because you don't think there's enough going around. This is a lack frequency. You need to be manifesting from a place of, I love what I have right now. I'm so grateful for what I have right now. Again, good way to get into the gratitude mindset is to practice gratitude. Gratitude journaling, gratitude meditation, affirmations, whatever. I love what I have right now. What I have, my life is great. I'm super grateful for what I have. And I'm also super excited to go to the next level. I'm super excited to have this new thing. I love this new thing and I'm super excited to be there. You manifest because you love where you are right now and you're also really looking forward to elevating yourself to the next level. This is why it's so damaging for people to say, don't you have enough already? Or humble yourself, right? They're people that are being threatened by your elevation. They're being threatened by how fast you are transcending through the universe. It threatens their very existence. They see you as someone that is reminding them of what they're not achieving or what they don't think they can achieve. That's why people get triggered by you. But we need to be manifesting from a good place, essentially. And this is part of the manifestation triangle. This is part of the frequency half. So we have to manifest from a high frequency, or else it knocks out your belief system and it knocks out your detachment. And therefore it doesn't happen. So do the inner work, get your mind out of the survival mode. There's plenty of videos online to know how you, if you're in survival mode, how to get out of survival mode as well. I'm also going to talk about it in Paid to Exist, of course, because that's part of the manifestation shadow work and inner work in total. Yeah, it's part of your manifestation shadow work. We need to be out of survival mode. We need to be in the love frequency all the time. So number 4 is, if you're aiming to make as much money as other people make in their day job. I say, for instance, this is someone that's like, oh, well, I just want to make more money than I made in my day job. Or if it's someone that's like, I want to make more money than I've ever made before, right? I want to make just more money than the average person. This is manifesting from the same frequency that when you were working in a job before. This is the same mindset, essentially, because you're comparing yourself to your past rather than comparing yourself to your future self. You see how this is going to keep you in the past? Just imagine you had no past. You don't know what the average income is. You don't know what people think of you or what people are earning in the world. You just want to manifest based on the person that you want to become in the future. You want to become this super vibrational passive princess that lives how she wants to live and travels the world. What income feels good for you energetically? What income would fuel that? Don't look at the average income. That will just pull you down, because people are essentially way underpaid recently and nowadays. That will pull you down. You need to look at what your future self wants, what you feel good for having, like what would feel good for you. And this will be different at each stage as you do your inner work, your manifestation inner work, because maybe right now you want like 10k months, because to be honest with you, like what I believe is that like 10k months is the minimum. Like we can't do much with below 10k months. So say, for instance, right now you want to manifest 10k months, and then you've got the 10k month, your self-concept, your nervous system can handle it, all these things, then you can manifest 20k months. Then you can use the ladder technique to go up and up and up from there. But do not look at other people's income and go straight for manifesting, oh, I want to manifest $2,000 a month because that's what I used to make in my day job like 7 years ago. That's what my mum makes, and I want to make more than my mum and my dad and my sister and my brother and my auntie and uncle, blah, 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 blah. Because that's average person lifestyle, and you can't be comparing yourself to an average person if you want a more than average lifestyle, right? They're underpaid for a reason, because that's what they think they deserve. If they thought they deserved more, they did the inner work to realize that they deserve more, and therefore then they make sure that they can hold more, then they would be on a higher frequency. So don't compare yourself to people that are on a lower consciousness than you. It's great to help them, don't get me wrong. We want to help people out here, but just don't compare yourself to them, okay? So the number four reason to know is, if you're settling for less and rejecting that real manifestation, is that wait, I did number 4. Number 4 was the last one. Hold on, just going back to the last point. Just remember that most entrepreneurs make more in a month than most people make in a year, because internet money is insane. Internet money is crazy. If you sell something online to someone, you don't just reach whoever's down the street like a shop would. You reach the entire world internet money is crazy. When you can reach the whole world and you have something that's of value to someone, aka you, everyone has something that's of value to people. Just your personality, your advice, your opinions, your view of the world, everything that is you is of value to someone else. You have an opinion and a belief or some knowledge that can help someone. Already, that is someone that many people in the world would buy. And when you have the internet available to you and there's that many people in the world, there is millions to be made at that rate. There is literally 8 billion people in this earth. How many people do you think would be best friends with you, that would pay to be your friend, to listen to what you have to say? This is what YouTube's about. We get paid to make videos. We get paid to teach people, to create programs that help people more than a university degree would, that would take someone 3 years. You can learn what people are learning in 3 years, in 3 months, through someone on YouTube, through someone's program, and it would be 1/10 of the price. It's crazy. And you have this inside your mind, you just haven't realized it yet. You can get paid to exist, right? So on to the next point. Okay, so Karina, you said, how do I make my nervous system feel safe earning 10K months when I currently make 0? So definitely doing some sort of nervous system work. I don't have any videos on nervous system right now, but there's a lot of videos. I was just doing this last night. If you look on YouTube, how to regulate your nervous system, there's so many ways that you can regulate your nervous system. So as I said a minute ago, you can do things like meditating. You can just slow down. Think of ways like, don't go on your phone whilst you're eating food. Meditate and literally do nothing. Put on some relaxing music when you get in from being outside of the house or doing any sort of analytical task that requires your mind. You need to go back down into your body and allow your body to recover from being and doing that stress and feeling in your mind. Essentially, all these are analytical things. It causes your energy to be up here. We need to be grounding ourselves more. And then when you're grounding yourself more, you will feel more at home with your body, and you can then decide what income level feels good for my body right now. And then you can begin normalizing this new income level from there. So maybe it might look like normalizing £1,000 a month, like the ladder technique. So your 10Ks at the month, because that's like the end goal for you. Then you can start. When you start regulating your nervous system, you'll find that you start practicing other things. Like you can start practicing self-love. You can start heightening your confidence. All of these things will make you be able to hold more in your nervous system. You'll be able to hold more energetically because you'll have more energy, right? Because you're not spending all of your time doing all these things that keep you in your mind, like watching TV, going shopping, or going on TikTok or YouTube all day long. You'll start to feel more present and you'll be able to hold more in your energy. So regulating the nervous system on the very basic level is the most important, and then you can start laddering your way up the manifestations from there. So I hope that helped. So going on to number 5 then is, you surround yourself with people who, if you told them your manifestation, they would say that it's too big. It's too big. Going on to everything I've spoke about before again is that they don't have the space for that. They physically can't imagine that in their life. They would not be able to handle your manifestation because their mind, their body is just not on that frequency. It wouldn't be able to hold it if they did receive it. They would completely, it's like receiving a hot rock. They would just drop it. Whoa, what is this? This is so unknown for me. Like, I don't like the unknown. And your unconscious is just trying to keep you safe. It's trying to do good for you, but at the same time, it's not doing good for you, because nowadays, everything we do is unsafe. It is unknown. Everything good is outside of your comfort zone. So yes, thanks for keeping me safe, unconscious. subconscious rather, but I'm now going to start reprogramming you so that I can now hold this bigger manifestation. And this means not listening to other people, as I said in number 2, but also not surrounding yourself with those people, or just kind of, I want to say, don't tell them your desires in the first place, which might work for people like your family that you kind of have to be around because you love them. But I'm going to say, if you have friends that would say it's too big, don't actually hang around with them at all, because although you're not telling them your manifestation, they're still going to project on you in other ways. They're still going to project their problems at their lack consciousness onto you in other ways that's going to indirectly tell you what is possible for them. They don't have to tell you. Like, I have a friend last year that was just don't speak to her at all anymore, because basically all she would do is complain and say how hard life is, like speak about herself. These are the friends that aren't your friends, really, because all they're there for, you're just their punching bag, essentially. So we don't want to surround ourselves with people that don't have a wealth consciousness. The people that haven't done any sort of shadow work, or they're just not aware, they're not self-aware at all. If you said to them, like, hey, you know, you're kind of negative, they'd be like, no, I'm not. Like, no, I'm not. And they wouldn't receive that well because they can't see it. They physically cannot see it because they've done zero self-reflection. Those are the people that it's like arguing with a brick wall. Like, you know, those people, they're really stubborn to protect themselves, and they won't take on your opinion because it's negative and it threatens their survival. It threatens their self-concept, so that they're just not there. Those are the people that we don't want to surround ourselves with. We want to surround ourselves with people that are on the same journey as us, that have the wealth consciousness. They know they can achieve more. They've done the self-reflection. They've done a bit of shadow work. Maybe they've realized the trauma that they've been through in their life before, and they're working through that trauma. Or they're practicing self-love, because at the end of the day, nothing can happen if we don't love ourselves, right? We won't think that we deserve anything. We won't think that we're worthy of anything unless we practice self-love every day. So this is going to be one of the 3 things that I recommend every single day. I will always recommend you to do self-reflection. I will always recommend you to practice gratitude. And I'll always recommend for you to practice self-love as well. All things that you think that you like. A shadow that we often have is that we think we like ourselves. We're like, yeah, I'm confident. I don't care what people think. Like, I'm going after my own goals. We think that we also love ourselves because we're like, well, I don't hate myself, but that doesn't mean we love ourselves. Number 3 is also, I think I'm grateful. Like, I'm happy. I'm good where I am. But unless you start practicing gratitude every day, you won't realize how ungrateful you actually were before. So practice gratitude, practice self-love, and also, what was it? Self-reflection, I think I said. I don't remember now literally what I said 2 seconds ago. But these are 3 things that I will do every single day without fail, because we cannot do anything without self-love. We cannot do anything without self-reflection. We cannot do anything without self-love. We must do these things. We can't. This is like the most basic inner work possible, because gratitude is the light work. The shadow work is the self-reflection. And then the gratitude, self-reflection, and self-love. So the self-love, the 3rd one, is the light work. So remember how I said before to do light work and shadow work side by side? So when I say inner work, total, it just means the light work and the shadow work, but more specifically, we have to pair them 2 together. A lot of people will work on just the self-love and the elevation and the I love everything, I love everyone, I'm amazing, which is awesome. But unless you unveil the shadows that are pulling down your energy, you will really reach a cap, like a ceiling point where you can't heighten yourself anymore. And you're like, why can't I manifest more? Like, I've manifested all this way, but I'm stuck. I can't manifest more. Like, it's just, I'm stuck. It's because there's something dragging you down. There's some sort of frequency, there's some sort of part of your self-concept that doesn't think you deserve more or doesn't think you can get more. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't think you can get there. And that's an unconscious belief that's dragging down this conscious belief. So you think that you want this thing. I'm trying to put my hand here. Why is the camera making my hand look so big? What is going on? I think it's got like a wide angle lens. But you think you want this, and you think that you definitely want it. You're like, consciously, I want £1 million. I could have it any day right now. Like, let's take this off as well. I'm getting a little bit hot. Consciously, you're like, I want it. There's no part of me that doesn't want this. Like, why wouldn't I want £1 million? But your subconscious, the part that's keeping you safe, will go like this way. So your shadow self is like, I'm trying to keep you safe. We got to stay out of the unknown. You can't put yourself out there too much because people will say things, you know, there could be a scandal about you. Your family might reject you. All of these things are going on inside your mind without you realizing it. So this is why you'd be stuck at, say, for instance, you're trying to manifest the 10K months, right? And you're stuck at the 5K and you're like, I want to manifest it though. Like I want to manifest it. But your subconscious, the part you're not aware of, there's a shadow there that's like, you can't go more than this because this is going to be too much. We can't handle it. So unless you do the inner work, or rather the shadow work, to uncover that and realize where your brain is actually sabotaging you, you won't elevate past this point, and you're just like a rubber band. You'll just ping right back down. So I hope it makes sense. That's how you can realize where you're pulling yourself down and where your mind is like sabotaging your goals without you actually even realizing it. All of this stuff can obviously be combated through everything that I've said, like the manifestation, inner work, and just basic self-reflection. You guys just journal on whatever it is that you're going through. As soon as you identify your biggest limiting belief, don't worry about finding out everything that's wrong with you and doing all the shadow work and getting all depressed. No, we want to uncover the one thing. It'll be one or two things. Uncover those one or two things first that's relating to your desire. So if you're manifesting money, what's the thing that you're what's the one thing that's preventing you from earning the money? Or if it's health, the one thing that you think will happen if you do actually manifest that good health. Like, what are you scared of? Journal on that. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen if this manifested? And you'll find that your brain comes up with some ridiculous things. Like, when I first journaled, what's the worst thing that would happen if I manifested, I don't know what it was I was trying to manifest, probably money. And I was like, what's the worst thing that could happen if I manifested this? And the one thing that kept coming up for me is, what are people going to say about me? Are people going to say I'm stuck up now because I earn loads of money and I've moved into this big house? What's going to happen when I go to my family's house on Christmas or something and like everyone's car is like outside and I've got this like fancy Jaguar blacked out? Like, who are they going to think I am? Are they going to be like, who the F are you? Like, who do you think you are? Or are they going to be intimidated? Are they going to be intimidated by me? Are they going to love me as much? Are they going to see me as their little girl still? Are they going to think that, like, she's scamming people? Like, nobody earns this much money without doing it illegally? All these things started coming up and I was like, huh? I don't care what my, like, distant family think. If my cousin wants to think I'm doing weird stuff, they can ask me and I'll tell them what I do. But this stuff is very real. And obviously, of course, it's real. We're trying to keep ourselves safe, secure, and loved, essentially. So yes, this stuff's going to come up. Ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen? Are people going to hate me? Are people going to push me away? And in reality, the answer is no, they're not. Because what I discovered at the end of that session is that if they love me, they'll accept me for whoever I am. My nan will do this, whatever. She don't care who I am. These kind of people that actually will love you unconditionally, these are the people that are going to benefit from me having loads of money. I'm going to spoil them. Of course, they're not going to reject me and hate me and think, who the hell is she? Because they're going to benefit from my money. So then I started to journal on that. And I was like, this is a silly thought. Like, of course, they're not going to hate me. They're going to be super proud of me. And if they love me and there's someone that I hold dearly to me, they're going to benefit from me. Essentially, I benefit no one from being broke. So yes, I'm benefiting my family, I'm benefiting my future self, my inner child, and I'm benefiting my future children. And at the end of that journaling session, I was like, it's done. I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. Like, this is for the better of everyone that I love, and there's nothing bad about it. And then I journaled on this like multiple times after then, and then it cleared that limiting belief. So you'll be surprised the things you can do by just journaling. You said, love your content. My biggest limiting belief is that I'm worried if I charge 10K for my services and people hate it. So logically, I've tried making myself better, but I'm so afraid. What shall I do? So do you mean 10K for one service or multiple services? I suppose it doesn't really matter, but if you create, if you advertise your content and you have people asking you about your content and stuff, then they can choose whether to buy it or not. I think maybe yours is like if they buy it and then they hate it afterwards, right? So in that case, it would be like a self-confidence thing, like you don't believe in yourself. In which case it'd be more of like a am I worth 10K thing. So that would be the best way to do it. Is probably journal and list all the things that are really good about you, really good about everything that you know. Fertility coaching program. Okay, are interested until I drop the price and then they don't buy. That is really interesting. One thing I will say is that people that are serious about doing the work will pay the price. If they don't pay the price, they're not interested enough and they're not willing to do enough work either. You'll find that at that price point as well, you'll find such higher conscious people at that price point that when they buy it, they're more likely to receive the information as well because they have been able to afford that price. So they've done the inner work to be able to afford that. Like, not an average person can just cash out 10K, right? So they are already a higher conscious person if they've bought it in the first place, if that makes sense. And higher conscious people do not complain about stuff. They take responsibility for their actions. If they have a problem, then you would trust that because they're of higher consciousness, they would ask you about it. And because you're a higher conscious person, you would respond maturely and help them. Like, God forbid if anyone did like dislike your services for whatever reason. But that's also our responsibility then to market it well. Like, we don't want to market it in a way that is going to be misleading. And if you know that you have that internal integrity, you know you're being truthful, then there's no reason for someone to get in there and hate it, essentially. But logically, again, it's probably like the self-confidence thing, right? So you need to journal on the self-confidence and the self-love, because when you're fully confident and you're like, you list all the good things about your service, all those super amazing ways that you're helping people, like fertility, are you kidding me? Like, that's literally bringing life into the world. If they're fertile, they're creating life. There's no price on that. And do you know what I'm saying? So these are the things you can list. Like, I am helping bring in life into the world. I'm helping women literally create life. There is no price tag on that. And then when you start realizing these things, you're like, okay, yeah, I should be charging 100K. Do you know what I'm saying? So start doing that, more of the light work, and also ask yourself, why do I feel like I don't deserve 10K? Why do I feel like I'm not worth 10K? That would be more of the shadow work journal prompt. So maybe do the shadow work journal prompt, like, why? What's the worst thing that could happen? Why do I not think it's worth 10K? Then counteract it with all the good things about the service. And then you'll realize then that your brain was just trying to keep you safe again to literally $20. And people said no. Exactly. That's where I'm coming from. You could drop your price to £1 and some people might not buy. It's just because they weren't the right people to buy. There will always be someone out there that thinks something is too expensive. And there will always be someone out there that thinks something is too cheap. It's just people's perspectives on life. If you went around the streets and you asked everyone, oh, will you buy this program for 10K? 99.9% of people will say no, because you're not aiming your stuff at the average person. You're aiming it at the 0.01% of people, and they will find it if they want it. They will find it. They'll find whatever service people have to offer. Do you know what I mean? If I send people the link to this video, 99% of the people would be like, what is this? I don't even understand what this is, you know? But I don't care because they're not on the right consciousness as me. If they watched this video, they wouldn't be able to receive the information in a way that I'm trying to deliver it because their brain is just not on that frequency. So yeah, anyways, exactly. So try those 2 things anyways. But if any of you guys watching this video after the live stream have any comments, just leave them down below. And I'm going to leave you there. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in a couple of days for the next video. Got to work out how to end the live stream now. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah. So hope this video helped, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.